bare my soul. And he's like, salmonella, motherfucker. Can I go first?
Sure.
Because it ties into solo stove. Burning alive. My number one pick. Burning alive. Doesn't get much worse than that.
Burning alive? Burning alive's not so bad. Burning alive just gets a bad rep. Got bad marketing. Got bad PR. It's actually the same as drowning.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
From
We're drowning where it's like blissful almost. You like just roll back and you go to sleep.
It burns so fast.
No.
It burns off your nerve endings so
nerve endings?
fast that you kind of just end up sitting there on fire.
Okay. Well, two things. Getting to that point where
fucking awful.
Yeah, I was gonna say, getting to that point where your nerve endings are gone. Usually, I've seen movies where it's like and you're running around because you're on fire. And then let's say my nerve endings are gone. I'm still sitting there going, well, I'm about to die, engulfed in flames.
Yeah.
And I'm looking through the fire at the people who are like, and I'm the one burning alive.
That would be funny.
And I guess seeing the
yeah, this is chaotic.
But I guess it also depends on how you.
You're like looking at people, just like looking at children running around crying. Like, I'm leaving lasting memories.
You're not gonna forget this.
Yeah.
You're gonna remember this face, as mangled and melted as it is. Remember this face. But I also think it matters if you're like if you get burned at the
people
stake.
when they die, they're worried about like their legacies, like who will remember me. Every single person here will remember me.
Closed casket, but you'll remember the death.
They'll try and forget this. They'll spend hours and hours and hundreds of dollars in therapy, and they will never forget this face.
It also depends on like if you're burned at the stake, where it like slowly kind of like creeps up you. That's my specific one. Like the witches of Salem, what we should do to Tom Brady. You know, you're on like a pyre, and it's like your feet start to burn, and then you just start to like melt and all that kind of shit. That's you know. Also, just a quick little aside. Do you believe in spontaneous combustion?
No.
Neither do I. There are like reports of like, you know, like the way that we found the body. Like there's just no explanation, right? I'm like, I don't know. They were probably smoking a cigarette or something.
Then you didn't think hard enough.
You know?
People don't just catch on fire.
But like there are people who believe that.
No.
There are cases of it around the world.
Is this like a Joe Rogan thing?
No. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm sure.
Where'd you hear this?
I was just thinking about burning.
You just
yeah.
I thought this was like something on your mind.
No. I've long like it has been on my brain for a long time because it's like there are some people out there who believe it, and I'm just like that is not scientifically real.
I don't know the science,
right?
but from where I'm from, I did biology in high school, and we didn't get to that, so I just don't think it's real.
Yeah. I feel like you have to be like...
Same reason I don't think herpes are real. We didn't get to
it. Your pick. Herpes! I'm afraid of herpes!
Oh, boy. Well, now you got me thinking. All right, I'll go one. We'll do real.
Wait, what do you mean? I got you thinking. We're doing the top 5. We weren't thinking about it until then?
Well, I was, but you just gave me an idea I hadn't thought of.
Oh, okay.
We'll stick with for reals. The dark. Terrified of the dark. I mean, it's not a crazy
honestly,
unique answer. I think
I think it kind of is actually.
I'm still an adult who I fucking reach into rooms and flick the light on before I go in there. I won't hang out in a dark room. I'm not like scared of the night, but I'm scared of the dark.
Totally with you, bro.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, I will always scurry up the stairs real fast.
Yeah. In the basement, like when I had to fucking my old house, like the basement lights were controlled in like the front half of the house, but you still, when you were going upstairs, had to go through the back. So it was like a whole back basement you had to get through in the dark. And it was also very cluttered, so it was scary. So you had to kind of tiptoe through and have your hands out and stuff like that. You couldn't really run up.
Right.
And it was like, I would leave the door open on purpose so you could get that light. You see the light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. But then when we were fucking kids, we'd fuck with each other and we'd just shut it when they went down. And it would.
Kids are the worst.
And we'd quietly shut it. So while they were in the front of the house, like rotating the laundry or whatever chores we had, you'd quietly shut it. So when they didn't even know, they thought they had that salvation waiting for them at the end. But then you just
gone.
Yeah, when you get in that other room, you're like,
extinguish your salvation.
all the lights are off down here, son of a bitch.
Fun.
And there's a crawl space that we've never been in because it's so fucking scary.
Dark is way up there on the list. I'm gonna go with something developing in my later life is a little bit of claustrophobia. But I'm not talking like I can't go in an MRI machine. I'm talking about some sick shit. When I was like a little kid, I read a story about this I think a woman was kidnapped by a couple, and they kept her in between the mattress and the box spring. Like they had like a hollow box spring. Imagine that. And like that's where she lived. She like laid out like a starfish, and then like the mattress was like right on top of it. And they would like only let her out like, you know, to like feed her and do terrible shit to her, and then like you go back to the fucking bed. And that has been in my brain since I was like 8 years old.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Fucked me, bro.
Now it's in my brain forever.
Yeah. And so now and it never really like affected me. I think I have you noticed, like, I mean, my grandma was this way, and I'm seeing it with my mom. Like, as they get older, they're just afraid of like everything. And I think that I'm like, I hope I'm never like them because they're crazy people. But I am like getting more afraid of things as I get older.
Oh, I'm definitely more. Yeah. I mean, even just like little changes. Like I think I'm scared to jump over those cliffs I used to.
Yeah, you better be. You should be.
I think I'm scared of those now.
Yeah, definitely don't do that anymore. You're crazy.
I'm not sure. We'll find out.
And see, that's the thing. When you do those things, if you're not fully certain, that's when you're gonna like half jump and then not make it all the way. You know. So I can't think.
But
of
also,
exactly
like, I'm not scared of. I get what you're saying there, and that situation does sound horrible, but I just will never find myself in that situation.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think.
It's
like,
not
there's been things recently
fully
where,
grown adult men who get kidnapped.
Yeah, that's true. You safe. You good. I'm trying to think of something recently though. Like there was something where I was thinking. I remember thinking like, "Ooh, if this were to happen, I would be like stuck here, and like that would bug me out." And it's more like hypothetical situations, but I find myself thinking like, if I were to have gotten trapped in that closet, like what would I have done? Something like that. Like I didn't have my phone on me or whatever, and I was like in a room, and I was like in like a closet or reaching for, you know, I was just like, oh my God, what if I was trapped in there? What the fuck would I do? And I just started like thinking of all the worst things.
Just spiral real good, huh?
Big time, spiral right out of control.
Number 2, this is what you got me thinking on. I'm gonna stick with it. Pregnancy
Scares you.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Getting someone pregnant? Them
being
pregnant?
Or me, yeah. I guess I got pregnant.
That's a real fear.
Yeah, that would be disastrous.
I'm saying you're afraid of getting your girl pregnant when like unknowing, like, you know, not planning it, or like just like her being pregnant, or like just the whole thing.
The whole shebang.
Yeah. Like not what I'm saying, not fatherhood, like pregnancy.
Yeah. Because fatherhood follows.
It's coming up next.
That also is not. I'm not.
The worst part about pregnancy is at the end of it is fatherhood.
Yeah, I have real fears about getting someone pregnant.
Yeah. That's a good one.
I have
you should be.
No interest in that.
That should be.
And the older I get,
actually, that's mine as well.
The older I get,
really
I actually am more. Because sometimes you're like, well, maybe I'm just like young, and I'm not. Like, and I'm still, I still am young-ish.
You really don't think you're gonna have kids? You keep saying you don't want to have kids.
And the older I'm like, granted, I've been saying it for like 2 years, so I went from 30 to 32. But like, yeah, even at 32 now, I'm like, I have no itch, no.
But I never had like an urge to do it. I think what the difference is for you is that you're not going by like the path.
I'm just exceptionally selfish. I like my life.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't have like a desire to rear a child or like teach them. Again, maybe at some point in my life, I'm not gonna get a vasectomy right now. But I cannot imagine like I'm gonna go home and like cook some dinner, drink some wine, and chill on the couch.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think the problem with me was I never had enough like self-confidence to be like, this is the life that I want to have and lead, and so I'm going to take all the steps to do that. It was more just like, how's it supposed to go? Like, how's the life supposed to go? I'm supposed to get this old, find someone, marry them, have kids, do that. And then like I got this job and like probably should have been like, oh, this opens up a lot of doors that I didn't think were ever going to be open. So let me think about like which doors I want to walk through, rather than being like, this is the door you're supposed to walk through at the time you're supposed to walk through it. And I never had like the I guess like self-confidence, or I guess enough selfishness to be like, well, hang on, I want to do some things like this way.
I think everyone in the world should be exceptionally selfish.
Yeah.
Like,
I think for the most part, you're lucky they are.
Don't get me wrong. Like, yes, you'll help your fellow man and all that shit, but like, it's your fucking life, man. Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
I've never understood that, and I didn't, and it's probably because I didn't grow up in one of those families. But like, when you see families on TV, or like even like families of friends and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, when are you gonna get a grandkid? When are you gonna get married? Like, no one's ever asked me that once. Because they're like, do whatever the fuck you want, man. It's like it's never been like you never had a grandma like, so when are you gonna get married?
Right.
Like it's just been like, yeah, cool. Like that's what you like to do. Word.
Yeah, if you get me grandkids, cool. If you don't, whatever, no big deal.
Like my parents have never even considered discussing that because they know I'd be like, shut up. Because first of all, they don't give a shit, and they know I'd be like, yeah, like I'm gonna do it if I want to do it when I want to do it.
It's an interesting way, man. My parents never like pressured me either, but I guess it's like the world did in a way. Like,
yeah,
you know, it was just like I guess my friend group was just my friends and family were all just very traditional. So it's just like this is how it goes, and they weren't like forcing it, but I was just like, you do what you see, you know what I mean? You live how you see other people live. I was just like, okay, this is what you do, you know?
Yeah. I think
not that I'm not happy. Like I love my kids and shit, but I'm like, it was more. I never thought to myself like, I want to be a father,
okay.
And I never thought to myself like, oh, I don't want to do this. I was just like, I don't know, this is what you do, you know?
I think my families are both families that like are, you know, from my mother and father are both traditional, but also have like they all did their own thing. Like everyone like I had uncles who were like, yeah, no, I'm like not going into business. I'm gonna go fucking travel the world for a few years, and like it's like, yeah, do whatever the fuck you want to do. As long as you can do it yourself, fucking do it. I'm not gonna give you like parents aren't gonna cut me a check to go do it, but they're like, yeah, if you can do it, go fucking do it.
I did Behind the Blog with Pat, Hard Factor Pat. When he was a sophomore in high school, he dropped out of school to start a business.
Yeah,
that is just not.
I don't think I had that kind of freedom at that age.
No,
but
I definitely didn't have the freedom from my parents, but I also I didn't have the desire to do that. I was not thinking that way at all. Just like I was very cookie cutter, like white suburban, like da 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 da, and then da 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 da, and then da 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 da, and it was just like, I mean, it worked out pretty well, but I never had. I just don't think about it. I just like lived, just like woke up and go. I never was like, here's my plan to become a father or my plan to not become a father.
Well, that's how I just wake up and go do it. And I want to just continue waking up and going.
Yes,
I wake up when I wanted to wake up and I do what I want to do, save for some podcasting, interviews, and blogging.
My pick, right?
Yes.
Loneliness. An old age thing. That's another thing that's creeping in my old age.
Really?
Being alone.
Boy, mine's gonna look like a real asshole answer following that one.
Being around people, like
having
a family.
No,
I learned that. I mean, when the sun goes down and I am alone, I'm just like, let me go to sleep right fucking now. I
see. That's when I wake up.
Yeah,
I'm alive.
No, that's when I'm done. What I learned was like when I have indefinite freedom. That's what fucks me up.
Oh, you're red.
Yes, kind of. In a way, like when I was still married and I had the kids all the time, when I would get freedom and I was alone, I was like, yes. Yeah. Because I know that like I only have until 6 o'clock and then they get home. Or I have until Monday, I have the weekend off, and then I'm back on the clock. So let me soak this in. When it's like I don't have my kids for a few days and it's just like nothing, I'm like, oh, I should be there. I should, and I'm not. And the wheels start fucking spinning, and I'm just like, please make me go unconscious now. Please just turn me off for the night. And then in the morning, like the sun comes out, and I'm just like, okay, like back to work, like whatever, all good. But when the moon comes out, I'm like, what's that? Whatever that Kid Cudi line is, I'm like, yeah, the nighttime for me is
really
dayman over here. Nightman cometh, no thank you. Dayman, champion of the sun.
Okay. Number 3 for me is undercooked chicken.
That is a good one. That is a great one. I just like bare my soul, and he's like salmonella, motherfucker.
Particularly, I've gotten a significant amount of undercooked food poisoning from delis in New York, and it's always and like I can like
and you keep going back.
It's almost like I've evolved because like I can tell as soon as I bite it. I finish a sandwich, but I'm like, nah, this chicken's not that good.
Got a good dose of
you can tell with chicken in particular, and then I'll like hold it up to light. I'd be like, it is a little pink in there. For some undercooked chicken is a scary one for me.
Yeah, that's tough. Fourth pick. Bloody Mary.
Oh.
I'm just not gonna do that. It's just like, what if? Like, I'm not gonna go in the bathroom with the the ketchup on my finger and the steam running, and I'm not going to say her name 3 times.
I don't think I knew this one.
Oh, yeah, I feel like everyone's kind of got the variations, right? I feel like
ours was just strict Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
Don't do that.
Well, yeah, the lights off. You'd be looking
just
in the
saying,
mirror.
don't tempt fate.
I only did it once ever, and I
that.
sprinted out of the bathroom. I was in 2nd grade, I think, and I ran out of the bathroom right after.
It's just one of those things that's like, but what if?
Yeah,
you know?
it's probably not real.
Probably not, but you could be, and if it is, then you are fucked, my man. So just no need to tempt fate on that one. Never will be saying Bloody Mary or even like Ouija boards and shit like that. Like, I don't know if this counts. Like, maybe it's a different thing. Like, I don't want to go to psychics because it's just like, what if?
Yeah. Oh,
you know?
Dude, I've told this before, I'm sure, but my mom thought one fun thing to have at my high school graduation party would be psychics. So we had like 3 psychics. I think she's just a twisted woman and was like, it would be a real funny way to fuck with a bunch of drunk 17 and 18-year-olds, telling them their future. Yeah. So
imagine that. Like, where'd you get into school, kid? You know, it's like, well, this psychic says like you're not going to graduate there. Like you're not going to get a job.
You've heard of Columbine, right? Yeah, that's common for Wichita State. But the and out of everyone at the party, my entire class came, their families, everything like that. And out of everyone at the party, the only 2 people who didn't go to a psychic were me and my dad.
Yep, not fucking with it. Nah, don't need that at all. Don't need that at all.
My number 4. Garbage disposals. Terrifying. I feel like I honestly got a much better reception than I thought I was going to get because I thought I was kind of starting to dip my toe into Charlie Kelly territory where it's just like people's knees. But garbage disposal, every single day. If I were designing my house, the switch to flip on the garbage disposal would be on the other side of the kitchen. I am always so sure that a knife was in down there. It's going to come fucking flying out.
Far too destructive of a device to have at your fingertips.
Right.
Like that is an industrial strength thing that like only a factory worker should be operating. You need a license to use a fucking garbage disposal in my book. That thing is my last pick here. Oh man. What am I afraid of? I guess, I don't know the word for this, but I used to feel this way. I used to wake up and be like, what if the internet is just not, like, what if there's just nothing to talk about today? Like, what if there's just no blogs on the internet? And what do I do for work, right? And then I always learned, like, the internet is always going to, like, provide you with material. But now that's morphed into, like, what if they just stop listening to this?
So
how would you, like, sum that up? Like,
rejection.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Rejection. Yeah. It started when I was like 15 with fucking girls, and it's gone through the internet with our work and shit. Yeah. I can't believe that was my number 1 pick. For sure, rejection.
Yeah, rejection. I think, who was it? Oh, my girlfriend's mom was saying it the other day where she was reading an article about, like, how hard it is for men because, like, they're so, and like,
don't say it like that.
No, yeah. Don't cry for me. But like,
cry for me.
She was like, yeah, like how hard it is for men to like ask a woman for a drink or ask a woman to go out to dinner or ask a woman for a dance because they're so scared of rejection.
Oh, that.
And I was like, I've never done any of those things because my fear of rejection is like I've never gone up to a girl like, do you want to dance with me? Yeah. I don't know if I've ever bought a girl a drink. Maybe
you don't
like,
even get to the point where you can get rejected because you're not even fucking
like maybe I've been talking to a girl and been like, oh, you want to grab something? I'll get you something. But I've never been like, excuse me, miss, can I get you a drink? Yeah. I've never done that.
Yeah.
We've extensively discussed. I've never been on a first date. I've never asked a girl out to dinner. It's because of fear of rejection.
Yeah.
But like things are pretty good for me. So like, don't I'm not looking for sympathy and pity, but
that just goes to show how easy it is for white guys, where it's like I don't even need to do all that stuff, and it's still found a girlfriend, still found a job, still found a, you know what I mean?
But I was speaking not even for myself personally so much, but just as like men and white men in general. Like we have some shortcomings or misgivings about life, but all in all,
pretty good.
I'm not looking to trade with anybody else because I'm scared to ask you for a drink.
The problem is for guys is that the things that are tough for us or whatever just don't get the time of day, like even at all. Which again is fine. I keep throwing out this disclaimer, but it's like, no, there are some things that make it really fucking hard that like just nobody will give any respect to or pay any attention to. It's like, okay, we'll just sit over here and rot emotionally. Yeah. Okay, if that's the price we got to pay for everything else being good, fine. But just know that's what's happening. Right. Yeah, so I think it's like a dose of rejection mixed up with like a fear of not pleasing other people or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good fear,
right?
It's a good fear.
Yeah, it is.
Your fears are better than mine.
My fear, it's like I find myself worrying about like people I shouldn't or things that I shouldn't, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like like we talk about like never sending food back. Mm-hmm. It's like, why am I all of a sudden so worried about like what this waiter thinks or feels? You know, some person's like, fucking cares, but I'm like, I have to cater to this person completely and entirely.
I mean, I did it at lunch today. I got chicken marsala. I forgot that chicken marsala has mushrooms in it. I hate mushrooms. And as I was watching him put the chicken marsala and mushrooms on my bed of rice, I was just
didn't say anything.
I was just like, well, I guess.
But
not
out of like because you didn't want to like upset him or fuck with him at all, right? Yeah. It'd be one thing if it was like, oh man, I'm so stupid. I don't want to embarrass myself. But I'm like, this perfect stranger who does not care one way or the other. I am afraid of making him be like upset or feel bad or whatever. And it's like,
there's like. In everyone's day, there's always a star. And the goal is to never be that.
Be the star. Yeah, never be that focus of
never be the person who like when people go, babe, how was your day? Like this fucking guy at the restaurant today sent his food back.
Yeah.
And
but I'll take that to the fucking extreme where it's like you weren't gonna be the star for saying that, dude.
Right.
Yeah. All right. What's your last pick?
It's a kind of a combo. Plugging things in. You like when you get that blue light, fuck.
Yeah.
Or just maybe we're gonna go with electricity.
I'm afraid of electricity.
Electricity, because like really the bigger one is, and it comes during winter months. I notice more shocked.
Yeah.
And like I don't know what it is about winter, but like this gym I used to work out at only in the winter was like when I'd pick up, and it was like always every time I touched a weight, so I had to really dedicate to this workout. Yeah. Like every new weight I touch is like you motherfucking ass. And then my old apartment I've moved out of. I don't know how it's gonna work in the new one, but like whenever I walked down, I knew every day to start my day touching the doorknob to get out of the building was going to shock me. Like, so I'd like walk up, I'd like slap it first, like try to like get that. Like maybe
there's no way to get through it. Yeah, you got to just do it.
And it was just like fucking bitch. Yeah. So I don't know if shocks are technically electricity.
Yeah, no, it's all
but
static electricity.
I think electricity is going to look ridiculous on the list. So I guess
go up there with the
electrical shock.
Electrical shock.
Electrocution. That sounds more badass. I got just several other honorable mentions. When I crack my neck, I'm always convinced like that's the one I'm paralyzed.
Oh, you're definitely gonna
and I'm just dead. Slush puddles in New York City that look exactly like the street, and you step through them and you're just gonna be completely soaking fucking wet. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Also getting my foot run over jaywalking. I'm getting really fucking close to that. And that's about it. The paralysis is way up there on the list, though. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna paralyze myself eventually. That's a coming, boys. And that'll almost be like spontaneous combustion. I'll just be like, if you ever find me just paralyzed with no forced entry, no nothing, be like he was cracking his neck.
Yeah.
Like it's not quite bursting into flames, but he just did it to himself.
No, I'm gonna tell everyone I ghosted it. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, you know what? Do that. Do that
for sure.
Do that.
Oh, don't you worry.
Yeah,
I'll spin that fucking death.